Good morning and welcome to the Foil Hockey Stars. This is Danny Cohen and I am coming to you on the heels of a heartbreaking loss to the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden. We lost it in overtime, so we get the loser point out of it, continuing our point streak to 7 games. And we continue to look like we are on the battlefield of Bakhmut, Ukraine, taking injury after injury. This time it is Tyler Seguin who goes down with an injury. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what that means if he is out for the Dallas Stars roster. Is this Bourque's last chance to make the team in a meaningful top six role? We'll discuss that and more. We'll also discuss the injury update to Lian Bichsel, and we had some fights in a game between Calgary and Nashville. We'll talk a little fisticuffs too. Before we do, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, tell a friend about this, and help me get the word out. I appreciate all y'all foilists for your support. So, Seguin goes down. A player came down on his knee. It looked like it buckled. And whenever you have a couple 100 pounds coming down on your knee when you're on a skate, that is not a good thing. I am holding out the hope that it's not as bad as it looks, but this year we have not had much in the way of luck when it comes to injuries. So, Bourque, this is probably his last chance to make the team in the role that he really fits, which is a top six role. This is not a player, in my eyes, that is going to come in and be an energy player. I don't want to see him. I know we got a good line going with the AHL line and all of that. I believe they called it the Quebec line last night with Beck and Ritzkovian, but realistically, long term, that's not where you want this guy. And he's not physical. He's not the type of player who's going to bring energy that I want to see on a third and fourth line. So, ball's in his court. He kind of fumbled it earlier in the year with the injuries to Hintz and Duchesne, and I hope he can do it. I had this talk with Feely, Filli. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, on the Defending Big D boards, and he was calling Bourque a bust. So I thought it was a very good talk that I had with him, and we went back and forth a little bit, and I brought up that he had a preseason success with getting a lot of points in the preseason. I went back and looked at when he got those points, and it opened my eyes a little bit. The points that he got in the preseason did not come in the last 2 games. He had 0 points in the last game of the preseason, 0 points in the second to last game of the preseason, and he was scratched for the third to last game of the preseason. So all of the good work that he did in the preseason really came against AHL level competition for the most part. And I I hope that it's not the case that we're looking at a bust of a first round pick here, but Feely, you may be right. And if that is the case, and I think we're going to find out real quick if Sagan's out, you might look at trading Bourque. And what would I trade Bourque for? Well, you know me. You know I like the rough stuff. And I would like, for Christmas, a goon. I would like somebody who's going to be a nail gun. I would like somebody who's going to just crush people in the corners. I want someone who's going to stir it up, make the game nasty. We've only had 3 fights on the year, I think, so far, and Jim Nill, of all the good things that you've done, that's just unacceptable, especially with all the scraps that you had when you played. We need more than 3 scraps through 26 games or whatever we have now. So, Bourque, it's on you, and if not, let's bring in a Goonie. So the Stars, they got some other bad news with Lian Bichsel being out 6 to 8 weeks. Based on that length of time out, my guess is that he broke the leg. I think if it was like a knee injury or something like that, we'd be looking at a longer period of time. Or if it was a real serious break that required surgery, we'd be looking at longer time than that. So we only have 60 up right now. They put Kolyachonok back in the lineup last night, which you would expect. We might also see Trey Taylor, who is the best skater in the AHL for us, come in, and you might see a rotation with him or just having him as the 7th D or him getting some time sitting in the box up there. So something to look for. I think we'll probably hear about that maybe even today if they're going to do that, or within the next several days once they come back from their road trip. So this Smith had a great game again, and he didn't get the win for it, but he made buttloads of saves. And in the last 5 games, he's got a .948 save percentage and a 1.5 goals against average. Let's give this guy some more time. Jake Ottinger is hovering right at 900 save percentage on the year. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been particularly good. And since the Smith is hot, why don't we ride that and see if we can get some more productivity out of him? Maybe give a little more competition to Jake. That'll maybe improve his game as well. The Stars continue their point streak on the road. They run it to 11 games. We go 5 for 5 on the penalty kill, which makes it 5 games of perfect penalty killing in a row for the Stars and 18 straight penalty kills. The penalty kill is now 90% without Harley in the lineup, and it's improved their numbers since Lyubushkin got back. So I think that kind of tells you where the weak link on the penalty kill is here. And they were talking about this being a nagging injury for Harley, so maybe that's what it is. But I think you don't just put Harley back on the penalty kill when he comes back. I think you gotta go with what's working, and if the shoe isn't broke, don't fix it, right? So anyway, we take the loss. It's a bummer because now I have to hear it from my Yankee Uncle A, who I'm going to see here in the next couple days, and he's just going to make little comments about how his Rangers, which is my number 2 team, beat the Stars. But yeah, so I'll deal with it. If that's the worst problem you got, you're living pretty well. So Capobianco in this game gets his first NHL, well, not his first NHL goal, but his first goal with us here, at least this year. He is now the 23rd star to score a goal, which makes us the most in that category of the league, the most players to have contributed in the goal category on the year. So we get outshot 41-25 on the game. And Shesterkin, man, that is a good goalie. I like Shesty. He is so good. That's an elite goalie right there. And he made great stops throughout the night. I thought our goalie outperformed him, but when you're giving up 40-something shots, it's just not going to end well. And that's what we did for our goalie. We did not do him well. We end up having a limp night statistically. It was not one of those pat statters for us. We only got 2 goals and 1 assist throughout all of the 2 goals that we got. Over the course of the game, a little gripe is there were a couple BS calls. It kind of evened itself out. We had a BS call on one on our end, a BS call on theirs. I really wish the refs would consistently let these guys play a little bit more. And in other news, we had a 2-fight night between in the Calgary game, and it was Calgary-Nashville. One good one between Weissblatt and Coleman. And so Good stuff there. They've already had, just in that one game, they had almost as many fights as we've had all year, and we have got to fix that gym nil. So let's go through the game. In the first period, this is when Seguin took that injury. It was early on in the game, so we just got started off on the wrong foot. Then we had one of those BS calls that actually we benefited from, and not on the power play, but later the New York Rangers would get the first goal. It was right after the failed power play for the Stars. Ben makes this hopeless pass into traffic in the offensive zone on a wish and a prayer, and predictably it gets taken up by the Rangers. They intercept it. They go the other way, and it was an outlet pass that gets picked up along the boards by Susie, who backhands it to Noah Laba. Noah Laba is pretty much alone. He takes a shot glove side, and it squeezed through somehow, trickled through to where Sushi jams it in before Capobianco can get to it. It was a bad goal in a number of ways, and that would probably end up being what would doom the Stars right there. So Ben has to work on these turnovers. I've seen a number of bad turnovers from Jamie Benn here this year. I know he's just getting back from injury and everything, but it seems more like mental mistakes here, and he's got to clean that up. He's done a lot of good for this team on the score sheet, surprisingly, but come on, Ben, we got to do a little better with the puck decisions here. And then in that period, Capobianco would tie it back up. It looks like we're in the power play, but we're not. And we're moving the puck around like we do have the man advantage. Capobianco lets loose a bomb from the point that hits Schneider, and Gavrikov tries to clear the puck, but sends it right back to Capobianco at the point, who lets loose a wrister through traffic, goes 5-hole on Shesty, and it's a tie game. So the Stars would kill a penalty here nicely after that. And then at the end of the period, Schneider put a good hit on Hintz after he makes a pass. We go to the second period. Lyubushkin comes back with a nice hit of his own in the defensive zone corner. But Lyubushkin's been solid all year. I've really liked what I've seen out of him. Then Petro plays the 2-on-1 very well a little later in this period here, and Petrovic also has been very good through good stretches of this season. Lyubushkin looks good on the penalty kill a little later. Kind of a boring period overall, but some good things came of it. Ben with some back checking like a madman on the power play to get back and help prevent a shorthanded chance. There was another BS call on Oscar Beck with 2 minutes left. And I thought to myself that DeSmith at this point in the game was looking really good after that one softie that he let in. So in the third period, there's a double minor taken by Steele 4 minutes in. And I'm sweating bullets on this one. DeSmith comes up with some big saves. We killed both power plays. And I'm thinking we're going to win this game. The Rangers hit a post. Then the Stars come back and they get the goal. So Lindell makes a failed outlet pass that's intercepted in the Dallas zone by Miller, who gets puck jacked by Wyatt, who's doing a little drive-by, and now we got a 2-on-1 the other way with him and the Messiah. The D-man lays down, and Johnston makes this quick deke around him, makes a backhand pass to the Moose, and he elevates it over Shesty in tight. Just a beautiful goal, and we are up 2-1. So there's some sustained pressure after this, and DeSmith sucks a puck up like a Hoover vacuum and keeps it 2-1. Foxa makes a nasty block shot that looks like it hurt him a little bit. I think he was all right, but it shook him up. And then Shesty makes a save from a point blank on Hintz. Then later here in the period, I see Jamie Benn doing some of his normal old school annoying moves that he does. He was tapping on Will Cooley's stick and right before the face-off was taken. I love that stuff from Jamie. And then with the extra man late in the period, the Rangers would tie it up. Lafreniere pushes the puck around the boards to Trocheck at the right point, who takes a bullet one-timer. Rebound goes to Cooley, who spins and beats the Smith. We go to overtime. In overtime, I'm thinking to myself, what is Robo doing out there on a 3-on-3? And then, boom, there's a goal. The New York Rangers score. Gavrikov gets to a rebound that beats the Smith, and that is all she wrote. Colorado and Minnesota both predictably win their games on the night. Minnesota is now 4 points behind us. Colorado is 5 points ahead of us with one game in hand. New Jersey is now 5-5 in their last 10. We play them next. They're coming off that 4-fight night against the Columbus Blue Jackets, where they racked up more fights than we have all year. So I think that that's probably some frustration that they've slipped a little bit, and they lost that game. So I think you're going to have a hard-fought game against them. I look forward to bringing you that pregame, where we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. And we will see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day in the meantime.